Welcome to the buymeacoffee.com/James Poetry, the coffee tips page that supports my James Poetry creative productions and work. See also jamespoetry.online.
Hello, Perceptive Reader. This is James Lynch, and I'm actually talking directly into my microphone inside my laptop. So it's not the same, maybe, quality sound from my stand up mic that I use and from my phone that I use as well. This is directly being recorded into my laptop. Along with that, this is buymeacoffee.com/James Poetry because it is in the area of also not only artistic value, but really consulting. And you're going to see what I mean by that. And this will first go to the James Poetry Spotify. Okay. The James Poetry it's an official channel, the James Poetry Spotify, that there are some feeds that branch out from there. And that's where I'm going to actually post this because I don't know whether I posted to Spotify this week or not. So I'm just making sure that I do that because, I try to do that at least once a week. And this is actually one of those conscience types of podcasts, and why I also recommend that you talk to someone, even when it comes to business matters at times, about is this even spiritually ethical or not, or what have you. Because believe it or not, there are, again, I told you, policies in a secular way that actually work and function every day to allow for all beliefs, even though, like I said, within that structure, some beliefs wouldn't bit more, avail themselves of this or that type of responsibility or occupation or what have you. See, and that's the fact of the matter. So depending on what your faith is in these matters, that's why you may want to get a second and third, not only opinion, but I'm telling you, you still do have some people who would at least relate factual information, spiritual guides, consultants, and remember, you still have the foundation of really God's church in itself. Okay, so this is what I want to say as the concluding thought. Happens to deal with standing your ground. What I mean by that, I tell you what, I'm continuing to just look at situations that I've learned even within the past 10 years that I'm pretty sure the grand creator wanted me to learn and understand this and that. Some of the reasons I really do fall into the category of what he did with other servants in the past, where he was saying, see, this is what I observe every day. This is what I have to deal with every day. In that way of informing his servants. The Holy Book certainly shows he did that for his servants' benefits, when already, remember, those servants that he even talked to or interacted with, they were already ones who loved or showed their obedience, were really love and showed their obedience to him in many ways of their life. He knew where their hearts were at. So what is that saying? It's saying he didn't have to show them all the intricate details of just how people, when they ignore him, when they straight up reject him, the other things that they would do in actually affecting others, even affecting the world scene. Even affecting the world scene. Now, without God showing that person, his friend, that prophet, or what have you, these situations, see, the prophet, though they may have had skills in farming, in reading, in translations, etc., they certainly would not have known the scope of just what persons who don't like God, you see what I'm saying, were doing, are doing, and how they truly were affecting areas that other people without that knowledge wouldn't give a bit more thought to at all. See, but that's what God has shown in the Bible that he does. So, with that being said, when I mention you hold your ground in this, and this is what I mean. If there's a disagreement with this person or that person, you know, and sometimes in the situations that we have, there's a variety of reasons why disagreements come about. And I tell you what, these disagreements at times don't even come about because of the two people who are arguing with one another. You see what I'm saying? So, whenever there's a disagreement and it's something major or complicated, it is best for you not to always just say, "Oh, okay, I guess I mess up in this situation or that situation or what have you." And the thing about it is, it's really no really statements of proof at all that you're messing up in this situation. It's just because of, again, maybe the agenda of somebody else to show that you have. I've mentioned before that truly God has given authority and ownership of this and that, you see, in areas, and then you actually have other persons who at times will try to make it seem like either you're not qualified for it or maybe you're even doing something that's against God's will, and I'm here to tell you you're not. See, some people, the gifts that God has given you, just because they use these gifts in a certain way that I'm going to say God has informed. Remember, I gave that earlier illustration about his friends, his prophets, about this or that. It doesn't mean that you use those resources in that way. And that's what I'm seriously emphasizing. No one is going to tell you, you see, according to your conscience and your creativeness, how you do business, especially when you're doing it with honorable intentions, but you have other people who do. And this is a fact. Some people have had their businesses actually taken up from under them. And then after all the financial duress, stolen resources and things of that nature, then even the people who, through their lawyers or were allowed to save face or what have you, they still didn't show enough of love, of humanity, or what was right to still make some type of compensation to that person, and would still fight tooth and nail as if that person did something so wrong. But when you ask, okay, what did that person lie to you about that caused you to do this? What did that person actually do to you that caused you to take it to this level that goes beyond, way beyond the scales of justice? Mm-hmm. So sometimes that's all you have to do is just ask, when was the first time or the offense that was a disagreement, that was a lie, or once again, a straight up offense the way you look at it? And then how did you handle it? What did you do from that point? Did you continue to show your intelligence? Did you consider to show your humanity? Or did you right away also go into this mode, this vendetta mode, where it was almost like, no, I'm going to ignore that two wrongs make a right, but I'm going to add wrong upon wrong times 10 times 10,000. Yes, it adds up over the years to actually, I told you, be at a vendetta with a person. That's a daily determination for some in their mind, just to be untrustworthy or untruthful in a matter that still really goes beyond what fixing the offense, even spiritually, requests or requires. Mm-hmm. So, people who know these matters might be able to help you with. That's why I say again, you hold your ground. I mentioned before, even when it comes to compensation or restitution, it doesn't mean that you necessarily have to lose your whole business just because you had a conflict with a contract with another person. See, remember, I'm stating that just as it's meant. Um, Other persons may try to take it to another route or narrative, but see, that's another wrong that I told you that you have to look at sometimes, because I've actually looked at situations where I said something clearly, or you may have said something clearly about exactly what you meant, but because the person still wanted to jump it or jump the narrative into another perception, then they actually made the situation seem that it was no longer the apples we were talking about, but now they changed into an orange situation. You see what I'm saying? And so when a person does something like that, that's when, when I explain about two wrongs don't make a right. And that's why you have to hold your ground, because if they change the situation into more of a dire one than what it really is, then they do that to what? Take more from you than what is necessary or what was even deserved. Okay? So have a wonderful day. Stand your ground. Keep doing the best you can. And this is going to be on Spotify first. Take care.